Hello, puppets. Hey guys, it's Lee Arenberg. Yeah, from Pirates, from Once Upon a Time, from even Seinfeld. And you're watching Kendall Talks TV.
Preview.
We know you're here, puppet. Come out. And we promise we won't hurt you.
Now, one of the roles you're most famously known for, Pirates of the Caribbean, you played the role as Pintel. Tell me what that experience was like working around so many talented actors. I mean, it was full of talented actors.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't, like, I always, you know, as a good way to put it, it was exciting. My answer is, like, I'm a baller, dude, so putting me around good actors is just good for my acting. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like, every actor's a good actor in my book.
Yeah.
There's some are just luckier than others. Yeah. I mean, when I'm acting, bro, I'm cocky. I'm confident.
Yeah, but it kind of comes with the game, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like you know, you ask LeBron or you ask Shaq or you ask these legendary athletes, Tom Brady, you know, there's going to be the guys that are competitors. That's the ones you love. And that's what it takes to be a star or to be, especially in Pirates. But a young Keira Knightley, obviously Johnny is like, you know, became the biggest movie star in the world. He's an amazing guy, an amazing actor. Jeffrey Rush, who in that first movie, I was able to kind of just study and watch how he did the accent. And the hardest thing was for me was I was the only kind of American. There's a couple in the first movie with me, but I had a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
So perfecting the accent and blending in with all these natural Brits was challenging on the first movie.
You know, my wife and I just watched the first one a couple nights ago again, and we were talking about Johnny Depp and how amazing he is and how he transforms into pretty much anyone. I mean, it doesn't matter.
He's a chameleon. Yeah, he's a real chameleon.
It doesn't matter what role he has. Did he ever give advice and tips on set? Was he pretty cool to be around?
Yeah, he wouldn't. I mean, he's cool enough to never give tips. Another actor, that's one thing. Actors don't give each other tips.
Oh, really?
No, dude, that's bad news, man. Yeah, it's be very disrespectful. The director gives you the tips.
I got you.
And
Yeah.
even the way a director will deal with some actors can set actors off. I don't take it personally because I come, like I say, from a theater where we were pretty aggressive with each other. I mean, it's covered in love, you know. But if it doesn't come coated in love, actors tend to reject it.
Yeah.
So, but Johnny was, no actor ever, it's called, you can't give actors don't give each other notes. That's a big no-no. Yeah.
Interesting. I never heard.
No. Yeah. No, but Johnny is, I mean, my experience with him was we were lucky that he was our star.
Yeah.
He's a classy dude, honestly. And there's a lot of negative bullshit about Johnny that I'm sure is like a rival PR campaign.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I haven't worked with him in a number of years now, but my experience was he was the nicest one ever to the fans, ever, of that magnitude. So he'll always have my respect, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you keep in touch with any of the fellow castmates from that movie still, or no?
Yeah, sure. I mean, all of them, if I come across them.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, keep in touch. What does that mean? Like, how many people in your phone book are you in touch with all the time? But if they suddenly were to pop into your life and you see them across the street, you're right back to it.
Yeah.
Some more than others because of the convention circuit, right? So some Marty, Kevin McNally, Mackenzie. I see, you know, so there's other ones that I'll run into on just in Hollywood or on the convention circuit.
I got you. Now, a majority of that movie, you guys are out at sea, obviously, Pirates. Did you guys actually shoot in the ocean a lot, or was there a lot of green screening involved in the movie?
In that one, no, it was, well, the first movie we were like on barges, you know, and so we'd be locked off somewhere. We couldn't be floating out really in the ocean. They'd have to fake it. And then the computers got better too, by the way, between the first movie and the second movie. So the second movie, The Black Pearl, they made a real ship out of it, and we were on the ocean. So for Pirates 2 and 3, yeah, we were really sailing. We do all these boat-to-boat transfers. It was pretty rad, dude.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, that was the thing, too. It's like that. Now, a lot of that stuff could be green screen, for sure. Could be. But the act of making the movie, because see, movie making is like a team sport, bro. There's like 1,000 people on a crew, at least, for a movie like Pirates. 1,000 people making me look good. My job is to stand in front of the camera, and when they blow stuff up, not let it hit me too bad, and not flinch, and be in character and be funny when they say be funny. But that's 1,000 people. My makeup artist, my hair guy, my costume people, the caterers, the construction, the marine safety guys, and then of course your camera department, your grip department, your electric department, right? So there are so many people that go into TV and into movie making that it is a team sport, and I'm just lucky enough to play one of those sexy positions on the team. The crew is like the O-line, they're not getting the love. That's going to go to the quarterback, the running back, the receiver, the star safety, whatever it is. That's the actor. But without a good line, bro, you're not winning that game. So
that's a good illustration. How long did it take usually to film a single movie, one of the pirate movies?
They were like 150 shooting days.
Oh, wow.
And that would be 5-day week. So, I mean, yeah, like a long time, 6 months, 7 months, not counting post-production, pre-production. But each of those, when we did Pirates 2 and 3, that was a 2-year commitment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I've seen on the internet, actually, believe it or not, I Googled it, and there was like 6 or 7 posts that was done yesterday that they're talking about making another Pirates of the Caribbean movie at number, I think, 6.
They're definitely talking about it, as far as I know.
If it happens, it's only right they bring Pintel and his sidekick, Mackenzie.
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, but like, they've already done 2 without us, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it though. I love that part. But yeah, it's not up to me, bro.
Yeah. There's a lot of. I read a little bit. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I don't know if they're going to do it or not. There's a lot of in the air. Johnny being in it, Johnny not being in it, whatever.
Yeah, it's something to talk about during a pandemic, though.
Yeah.
I saw people were asking me about it on Twitter today, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. Now, I noticed your teeth are a little bit wider than they were in the movie. Let's talk makeup and what the process was every day when you would get to the set.
Yeah, I mean, it sucked. I mean, makeup it sucks. But so I would start every day clean shaven, fresh head, fresh face shave every day. Then I get in the chair and put a scar on that was kind of like a decal. And I would have my eyebrow notched so the hair was gone so that the scar would go under it. That would go first. And then we had this kind of, they call stretch and stipple. It's a bit of latex that gets heated up and put on with a brush around my face. And I hold my skin stretched. Then once the makeup guy powders it and dries it, I activate it by crinkling it, and it leathers my skin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was around the eyes. So the scar, then the stretch and stipple, and then it was mostly paint after that. Like they call it tattoo paint. It's alcohol-based or soluble paint, like makeup paint. And so that would be my skin would be darkened and all the dirt. And then once I got all that done, then he might put pieces of my beard on. My beard was cut into pieces because I had too much dialogue, so I was always lifting the edges.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of cut it into different spots. So I might get these mutton chops on. Then I would go to my hair girl, and Lucia, her name, great legendary hair woman in the business, and she would take my wig, and then her department is my hair piece, and then they would kind of have to glue that on. And then once I had that glued on, that would be another 30 minutes there. I'd go back and get the rest of the beard set. unless we weren't going right to set, in which case Joel would hold it. Now, this teeth I haven't put in yet, because I would do that. My makeup guy follows you. All your makeup guys follow your set to set. So your makeup person and a hair person that's covering that actor follow you to the set, and they would hold your teeth for you till you needed them. You know.
That's actually was going to be my next question. I understood the contacts and the hair and makeup. My next question was the teeth. That looks so realistic. And I didn't know if it was stuff they kind of just put in there or if it's actually.
I still have my pirate teeth somewhere.
Wow, it's an actual.
I saw them the other day. Yeah, they're plastic, so it's like a mold, and they're real thin plastic, and they just go click, click, like the vampire teeth you buy at the store. You know.
Does that take some getting used to talking with them in your mouth?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Those were actually. That was a tip from Jeffrey Rush, though. I was lucky. I happened to be at the makeup, at the effects house, what they call them, that handle something like that. And I was in the effects house at the same time he was doing his fitting for his teeth and his mold. So when he said, "Hey, I want you to take," you know what a Dremel is? A little bit of a drill that kind of flattens stuff out. Okay. So he had the guy. Basically, it's a dentist and the makeup artist that had dental skills. That's what it takes, right? And it's actually my late friend Richard Snell, who we lost while filming the movies. So it's a whole nother thing too, right? He's a legendary guy, and it actually reminds me of a sad tale. But his artistry lives on, and you take that Dremel and thin out that tooth so that you can. It's just certain sounds. You know, people that wear dentures, and they have that. Sounds like this, right? Yeah. So you don't want that. That's an air gap. You need a tight seal. If you ever saw any of my Star Trek where I was a Ferengi, I had the teeth in there too, and they weren't as Dremeled down. So whenever you hear that Ferengi, notice he always goes Picard. I have to, because I had to talk over those teeth.
Oh, yeah.
With my mouth. See, I'm more going, making my sound over, because if I did a natural thing, it would get all caught up in there. But for the pirate, they were thin. They looked nasty too.
Yeah, yeah, they did. That was actually, I was going to say, since we're on the topic of makeup, let's talk Star Trek for a while. Star Trek, that was kind of the same process. You go right into makeup, and did that take as long?
Star Trek was like 4 hours.
Oh wow!
And they were 3.5 to 4 hour makeup. The pirate one was maybe an hour and a half total.
Oh,
maybe.
Man, that had to suck.
Yeah. It's hard. It's challenging. But the thing about the Star Trek that was rad is I was like a guest star on the show. So the overtime that you got for sitting in the chair, it was worth it. Like, you know, to a young actor, like early in my career, I needed that paycheck. You know, it covered my rent for a while. That one. A good Star Trek like character where you're doing 6 or 8 days in a row of makeup. So I would show up to work at like 3:30, 4 in the morning, and then to be ready for this camera start at 7:30 or 8.
Wow.
Right. So I've already got half a day in before work starts. Then I'd work 12 hours, and then I would have cleanup. So that would be the average day of makeup. I'd maybe get into 17, and then if they needed me back the next day at the same time, that's called a force call if you don't have 12 hours. So, you know, that's why I like unions, because as a young actor, it really helped me to get those bonuses. And then it was worth me putting that. You'd get tired, you'd work hard. That's physically draining. The Star Trek, the Ferengi, it's almost like you can't. It's like cover your ears, and that's what those Ferengi heads were. That's what they were like. Giant latex. It was rad, dude. I loved it.
That's awesome. It's an awesome experience.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think everyone can handle it. You have to like go to a happy place when they're putting some of that spirit gum and glue in your eyelid or glue in your lip. Some of it is up your nose all the time, you know, and you have to relax, because if you're flinchy in movie, the artist will get you in the eye with a brush.
Yeah.
So you have to just chill.
What's it like taking it off?
It depends. If you live in it for 12 hours, it comes off pretty well. But if you're not in it for a full day where a lot of your skin can get under it and lift some of that, it can it can hurt you to take it off.
Yeah, I bet.
Depending on the talent of the makeup artist. The talent of it, that's why I'm always nice to people, because they can hurt you, man. It ain't no joke. Don't be a dick to your makeup artist. You got to treat them. They're the ones that make you look good too, to boot.
Yeah.
So, and the best makeup artists are noodlers. I call it noodlers. Like, they're always got something to fix. They're never happy. So they are in your face 24/7 with their makeup brush, noodling. And sometimes you just got to go, don't noodle now. I'll be with you in a minute, because they are, I mean, they're pros, man. They're artists, they're painters, and they do it in 3 dimensions with latex, and a lot of respect. But they also, their job is to watch you. So like, you get food on your chin, they're there to clean you. The makeup people, they're your friend.
Oh wow!
But in the effects makeup, they noodle your shit, man.
Now, another one I want to mention, Once Upon a Time, was another huge TV series you were a part of. You played the role as Grumpy. What was that experience like? Where'd you guys film that?
Well, that was Vancouver, Canada.
Oh, was it?
Oh, incredible. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place.
All of the filming took place there?
Yeah. Yeah. We went with the green screen, so we traveled to magical places, but all of it was shot in the Vancouver, BC area. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And you had a role in every season. You made an appearance, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I read that you were one of the only actors in the whole show.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, but they said because I was in the spin-off, and then I was in every season. So, I mean, I'll take it. I'll take a little Wikipedia kind of trivia for that. I had a great time, great people, amazing writers. If you haven't seen that show, it's all the characters from Disney it's a show about hope. It's a great show for right now. It's about family and hope. I mean, we're the magical characters from your fairy tale childhood, cursed in the fairy tale world, sent to this horrible, horrible place, modern day America. No knowledge we're magical, right? And then at the end of season 1, we find out our true identities. And from that point on, we're trying to get back home.
That's awesome.
But it's written by the guys that wrote Lost. I mean, it's badass, dude. You know, if you haven't seen it. Your wife it's a chick show, though, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. When it first came out, all the girls and stuff I knew, they were watching. I was like, I ain't watching that. Once upon a time. And then my guy friends started watching it with their wives and their girlfriends. They're like, nah, bro, it's actually kind of good.
And the women in our show, they always, I mean, honestly, for guys, I would say you're missing out on like badass women. Because the best characters were these women, and they are sexy, they're smart. Nothing not to like about the Once Upon a Time, you know, in terms of like guy versus girl. But we're definitely, I mean, it's definitely like, they call it a chick show, but it's like, it's the ballsiest fucking chick show you'll ever see. Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, make sure you check that out.
Oh man, please. It's I mean, we'd love to have you. We call you oncers. Once you like it, you're a oncer.
Yeah. Now, you've been involved in a lot of different projects, like I said earlier. Have you worked with an actor, and you don't have to give me a name, I don't want a name, that was just a total pain in the butt? I hear stories of like a person being a pain in the butt where the director refuses to work with that actor ever again. That actor refuses to work with that director. Have you came across that?
Well, yeah, of course. But I mean, it's like, honestly, it's very rare to happen. And yeah, I mean, I honestly I don't think in 35, 40 years, more than a handful of times, okay, to be honest. People usually are, I don't know, happy to work, even the big stars. Yeah, but of course, I mean, and the other thing too is sometimes people just have bad days. You're not always there to see the apology. You know what I mean?
It's a job. It's a job, just like any other
pressure
job.
In the game. Yeah, but a lot of it's rumors. I mean, I know that there are some like uptight, like wackadoodles in my business. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I've never really run into one personally. I hear about it.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'm eccentric, so eccentric is nothing. Everyone's different. We need all the colors. I don't judge. But yeah, there's some people that you go like, wow, maybe you should have been prepared more.
Yeah.
Once in a while. Most
Now,
people are.
I got
99.9%, and this is truth, Kendall, like 99.9%. You're in a foxhole. It's like being in a foxhole, of an artistic foxhole, because the result of film is forever. So you're all, no matter what happens, you're all pulling the same.
Yeah.
Usually it's like kind of like some sort of measuring contest that's above my pay grade. Those mostly when it might happen, bad behavior usually happens like after a show's been on for like 20 years and the guy's cranky or something, or he's negotiating a contract. I mean, it's all normal stuff. As far as I know. Yeah.
Now, I've got kind of a steep question. I don't know anyone personally that's gone through this, but I watch sometimes how a young actor will start a rise to fame, and not everyone can handle it. And sadly, you see people going from seems like an innocent, sweet person to drug issues, to domestic issues, suicide, etc. What's the secret of being that movie star, handling the fame, and remaining who you are?
Therapy. I mean, you got to keep it real. There'll be a lot of people that tell you you're awesome, but then, it's treating the people you care about like you care about them. It's not. Trust me, this is the best thing that you can learn from a pandemic. And if you take one thing from this interview, this is it. The garbage man is more important than the movie star, bro. You know why? Because actors, we don't like to pick stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Like this, you see it now. Actors are home. We're not essential. We're essential for the work we've already done. But I'm not a grocery worker. I'm not a nurse. So I think sometimes we get too much societal credit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I said before, I give respect to get respect. Be on Pirates or something, you'd be on this island. You think you're some badass Hollywood dude, and the guy that lives down the shack in a shack, he's walking down the street with a machete. He looks at a tree, climbs up, goes over to this other thing. Best lunch you've ever seen. You know what I mean? You think that actor guy is going to be able to climb a barefoot a coconut tree with a machete and get lunch? Yeah. So I don't know. I think I get real. If the people that kind of like say they're this or that, like better than anybody, that's right. So the rise to fame, that's a trap. That's a trap. Now, easier said than done, but you're probably gonna, no matter who you are, you will make some mistakes along the way on that rise, and learning to own up to them and ask for forgiveness from the universe is a good start.
Yeah.
Surrender outcomes. Have some humility about it.
And just stay grounded, huh?
I always say, like, when I travel, bro, it's like if I'm lucky enough to get a first class ticket, I always go, dude, that's my higher power goes in the first class. I'm going to be in coach where I belong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I practice gratitude. That's a real key. You don't learn that on the way up unless you're raised. There's only a very few. We had a child actor in Once Upon a Time. His name is Jared. If you watch the show, he's a young kid. He's now 20. I've known him since he was 10. And he is one of the few dudes. I go, dude, I love you so much, man. You've turned into this really cool guy. That was good parents. He's a real smart guy. He's aware. And he was surrounded by actors, like, I'm not taking credit, but some of the other co-stars as well as me, really cared about that. And so here he spent 10 years on the show, and he came out of it the nicest guy in the world. That's a victory.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's good.
But again, I think, honestly, bro, everyone's going to make mistakes, and it's all how you bounce back. So the road to fame is it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah. I hear you. Now, what's some advice that you could give anyone pursuing acting?
Wow. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't be crazy. But if that doesn't work, if I couldn't talk you out of it by saying no, welcome to the club.
Yeah.
It takes that little bit of craziness to go for it. But courage, they say, is, the ability to go for it when you get nervous. and realize that no one's heart races more nervous than an actor at an audition or an actor before they say action. It's all of us. We're all like, ah. Even an Oscar winner, even the best actors in the world, like, ah.
Yeah.
So learning that's the key, to be able to handle those nerves and pursue it. Welcome to the club, bro. But you got to be crazy to go for it because it's a hard life, and then you'll have to reassess along the way why you're doing it.
Mm.
Is if you're doing it for any other reason than you have to, that there's nothing else you can do, then you should be doing the other thing.
Mm. Well, there's advice for him, huh?
Well, I mean, listen, advice is only there for the people that want to take it.
Yeah, that's true.
I know a lot of times with my son and stuff, like when I want to be a good parent, guys like us, man, we always, we think we're all about solutions. But I think a lot of times, like if my son comes to me, he just wants to be heard. My wife, my friends, I'm not there to actually solve your problem. I'm just there to listen.
Yeah.
So be a sounding board. I mean, there's a lot of tips I could give, but my biggest one is don't do it unless you can't not do it.
There you go. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. But I want to leave you with this real quick.
Sure.
In my opinion, and really it's not opinion, it's more of a fact, I believe. You as an actor are very underrated. And let me explain what I mean by that. I look at all these different roles and characters you have played, and I see your resume and all the big things that you've accomplished. And every single role I've seen you play, you did an amazing job bringing that character to life. So I'm not trying to give you a big head, but I believe in giving respect to where respect's due, and you deserve it. You're hella talented, bro, and I appreciate you sitting down with me, bro, for real.
Dude, let me just say that was a really nice compliment, bro. I really appreciate that. It's nice to hear. It's nice to hear that, and I take those words to heart, and it means a lot, And that's why. But that's also why I said yes to coming on your show.
Mm-hmm.
I said, why not? I said, like, why not give Kendall a shot? You know what I mean? You're hungry. You're making it. You asked.
Yeah.
Like a pro. So right back at you, man. I respect you. That's why I'm here. I've enjoyed it. And I hope you get a lot of viewers.
Yeah, I appreciate it, brother. Thanks for sitting down with me.
Buddy, talk to you soon. Be well.